5 games have already been released on the new Nintendo Switch. 11 of these games have received their play scores, but first, let's take a look at the 17 titles that haven't received a play score yet. Here they are, arranged from A to Z. ACA Neo Geo World Heroes Perfect. Play as 16 brave fighters across the pages of history and fight for the greatest honor. This Switch version gives it more traditional fighting mechanics to make for an enjoyable arcade fighting experience. ACA Neo Geo Metal Slug 3. The arcade run-and-gun shooter heads for the Switch with challenge modes, control options, and online leaderboards. Defeat the monsters that stand in your way and stop General Morden and pixel visuals that stood the test of time. ACA Neo Geo NAM 1975. Another SNK action game. Dive into the battlefields of Vietnam as one of the US Special Forces. Brave the elements and survive the fierce gunfires with evasive rolls and helpful power-ups. ACA Neo Geo Shock Troopers. Sticking with the formula that Commando created, this top-down run-and-gun shooter will let you face off enemies as Suave Lonely Wolf, or as an alternating trio of soldiers. It's not an original premise, but it's an enjoyable co-op shooter for the Switch. ACA Neo Geo The King of Fighters 94. You've seen the King of Fighters in 3D, and now you can enjoy them in their original forms. It's the debut of one of the fighting franchises that defined a generation. With its straightforward mechanics, determine the pros from amateurs. ACA Neo Geo The King of Fighters 98. The definitive King of Fighters title among SNK's iconic fighting franchise. Jump into the ring with 3 characters of your choice and eliminate each of your opponents. With expansive roster and refined combat, it's not just the King of Fighters at its finest. ACA Neo Geo Neo Turf Masters. Twist and turn until you get that perfect stance, and make sure to check the wind. Choose from 6 eagle-eyed golfers from around the world and aim for that elusive hole-in-one. Play with a friend or compete with players online. ACA Neo Geo Waku Waku 7. Among Neo Geo's fighting titles, this one stands out. Sunsoft takes a slightly different approach to the genre with its vibrant yet limited cast of characters and upbeat gameplay. Gather the remaining Waku Waku balls and gain the highest scores. Has-Been Heroes. Fulfill the king's final request. A band of once great heroes work together to embark on their final grueling adventure, taking the beloved princess to Princess School. A deceptively charming enough premise that's topped with frustrating permadeath. Little Inferno. In this game, fighting fire with fire is the only way to go. It's a pyromaniac stream. With little to no gameplay, you just burn things down. Pick up coins from the ashes of your burnt furniture, buy more stuff, and just burn them all over again. New Frontier Days. In this town-building sim, live out the days of the American frontier and help the villagers settle into their new town. There's plenty of dangers that await, so build your town wisely to live another day. Othello. A less dramatic battle of light and dark, and definitely not the Shakespearean tragedy. It's a board game classic where you convert your opponent's tiles into your own color. Reach the edges first and make sure to secure those corners. Snake Pass. Think like a snake to traverse the obstacles in this colorful platformer. With its impressive snake physics, curl around poles and slither onto rocks along with your trusty avian sidekick. Restore the city of Haventor to its glorious state. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Use your cowardly tears to eliminate nightmarish monsters in its randomly generated dungeons and rooms. In a quest to escape death by his own mother's hands, Isaac will have to face his inner demons. Help him gather the courage and strength to go face to face with his deadly fate. Voice, an elegant-looking rhythm game that showcases the Switch's touchscreen capabilities. Touch the falling notes as they reach the hit bar and help the 6 high school students achieve their dreams of international fame. Vroom in the Night Sky, one of the first indies to launch on the Switch. Released in Japan, get on a magical bike and sail across the night skies. Gather Stardust as the magical girl Luna, collect key stars, and open a magical gate. That's a lot of magic. World of Goo. Control a village of goos and create gooey architecture to solve the different puzzles. Construct platforms, bridges, and high-rises to transport other goos or let its gigantic citizens pass through. Like most Tomorrow Corporation games, it's deceptively simple. A little creativity will not hurt. 11 Nintendo Switch games have just received their Play Score. The Play Score is a unique rating that averages critic reviews and gamer reviews. Here they are arranged from lowest to highest. Opening our list of Switch titles is Nintendo's very own 1-2 Switch. This collection of odd games is meant to showcase the Switch's technologically advanced Joy controllers. With its motion controls and haptic feedback mechanic called the HD Rumble, you can take on a variety of challenges using reflexes and sheer skill. Compete in tennis matches, milking competitions, Wild West duels, and so much more. They're a fun set of party games for all ages, at least for a little while. While it shows off its impeccable technology, there's really not much to do. For every minute you wiggle and waggle through its minigames, you'll have to wade through each of its long tutorials. And with no single-player option and a focus on social interaction, it's probably gonna keep gathering dust unless you have parties every week. If only they bundled it with the Switch. It has a Play Score of a 5.74. Just Dance 2017. Ubisoft ushered in its infectious dancing craze to the newest platform on the block. Using Switch's motion controls, dance to the rhythm and make sure to keep up with the beats. Copy your virtual dance instructor's moves to earn points and probably a few laughs from your friends. Like many of the Switch's titles, this game is more fun when you have friends to enjoy it with. Or you could play it alone as your cardio substitute. Swing your honest pelvises to Shakira's Hips Don't Lie and flail your arms to Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. It doesn't always work though. With the Joy-Con only tracking one hand, scoring can be inaccurate and sometimes a little too patronizing. It pales in comparison to the Xbox One version that scans your whole body. Plus it hides many of their songs under the premium Just Dance Unlimited. There's a high price to pay for a portable party game. It has a Play Score of a 6.69. Super Bomberman R. One of the best multiplayer franchises made its way to the Switch, but it didn't really impress players quite as the classics did. It stayed true to the familiar mechanics, placing bombs on the screen, collecting power-ups from destroyed bricks, and eliminating opponents. Play with up to 8 of your friends and relive the tense battles and sweet victories. Everything is in a fresh 3D look, making its maps more dazzling and explosions much more satisfying. This Switch version also adds a fun story mode to solve puzzles and take on ferocious bosses. Using its co-op mode, your friends can jump in anytime to lend you that needed helping hand. But despite all of its good points, it's an underwhelming package, especially considering its expensive price tag. With only 8 multiplayer maps and a forgettable story mode, it receives a Play Score of a 6.77. Skylanders Imaginators. The Toy to Life franchise has done almost everything, adding in new features to their games every step of the way. Now things are beginning to look even better for Skyland citizens with their recent move to the Nintendo's newest console. Save Skyland anew as Chaos discovers the power of mind magic, creating an evil army of villains called Doomlanders. Defeat them using the deep recesses of your imaginations. Create your very own hero and customize clothes, catchphrases, and powers to your heart's content. And with the Switch's new functionalities, you won't need to lug around your whole collection every time. You can take out heroes from your digital library anytime. Access it from the comfort of your own home or change it up on the move. Evil never sleeps, and with the Switch's portability, saving Skyland will be a button away. It has a Play Score of a 7.07. I Am Setsuna. The makers of I Am Setsuna sought to create a quintessential JRPG that's reminiscent of golden era titles like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy. Walk along the endless winters with Endir, a mercenary set to assassinate the titular Setsuna. Protect yourselves from the demons that haunt the land and complete the maiden sacrifice. It succeeds in bringing the nostalgia for the RPGs of old, but it doesn't do much other than that. As demons haunt Setsuna's land, the game itself is haunted by one-dimensional characters, predictable storylines, and all too easy monster encounters. What it lacks in story and challenge, however, is quietly alleviated by formidable bosses, captivating soundtracks, and lush graphics that almost matches the PS4. So if you all want a classic JRPG experience, then this game is worth a look with a Play Score of a 7.32. Snipper Clips Cut It Out Together. Developed especially for the Switch, this cute puzzle game proves that 2 heads, or 4, is definitely better than 1. Play as Snip and Clip, 2 adorable paper cutouts who need to work together to solve the puzzles in every stage. Crouch, spin, and cut out overlapping parts. In its many stages, you'll have to fit the desired shapes, shoot balls into their respective hoops, and transport fireflies into their cages. And it only gets harder from there. There's no one way to complete the mission, so you'll have to think of creative ways to solve them, which only adds excitement to the game. Get more players into the mix and explore all the different modes. Solve even more puzzles in party mode or compete for the highest scores in blitz mode. While it's a pretty short game, it's still a cut above the rest with a play score of a 7.64. Fast RMX. If you need a game to fill that F-Zero shaped void in your heart, then there's no other game to do it than Shinen Multimedia's Anti-Gravity Racer. Unless a new F-Zero comes out, but that doesn't seem likely. This indie title will take you back to your favorite pod racing games without forgetting to put its own signature style. With your hovercraft, dash through its array of tracks, collecting orbs to fill up your boost bar. There's a knack to the game as you master the map, navigate corners, and decide at which points to use the boost strips to your advantage. It's a mechanic unique to the game that tests your reflexes amidst the breakneck speeds. It's a delightfully straightforward racing game with no story modes to distract you from the high-octane racing. What it has, though, is its expansive collection tracks and racing modes, stunning landscapes, and smooth resolutions. It has a play score of a 7.7. Next is Blaster Master Zero. One of NES's iconic rosters, Blaster Master gets a well-deserved remake from Inti Creates. It's what most people have called a remake done right, keeping the charm of its pixel visuals and awesome gameplay while adding a few modern additions. It even manages to keep some aspects of the original American storyline with some needed tweaks. In pursuit of his frog, Jason is joined by Eve as he takes to subterranean lands and mows down alien creatures with his newfound tank. Along with the side-scrolling platformer, you step outside the tank to enter dungeons in top-down shooting style and eliminate Martians with an array of blaster options. With improved controls, redesigned levels, and new save checkpoints, it's a great introduction to the series for first-time players and an awesome way for old players to love it again. It has a play score of a 7.79. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. He's conquered Kickstarter and now he's on Nintendo's latest platform. Yacht Club Games brings their mighty knight to the Switch in its fullest form, packed with all the previous DLCs as well as their newest expansion, Spectre of Torment. With your trusty shovel blade, anything is possible, and all in the name of love. Set out on a perilous journey through its pixelated 16-bit landscapes in this side-scrolling platform adventure, and go through dark dungeons and creepy castles along with your loyal companions. While Shovel Knight deals in digging and Plague Knight has its alchemy, the new Spectre Knight has its own array of abilities like running on walls and powerful air attacks. So far, the shovel-wielding knight does not disappoint. With its cool upgrades, unique abilities, and fully cooperative campaign for double the fun, it's no wonder it garnered the support of critics and gamers alike. It has a play score of an 8.09, while its DLC, Spectre of Torment, received a play score of a 7.89. And the best Nintendo Switch game so far is, of course, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's nothing like the feeling of being proven right. We've waited long enough for the arrival of Breath of the Wild, and it's safe to say that it blew everyone away with its highly interactive environment, unique combat mechanics, and breathtaking open world. It's an RPG that doesn't hold your hand in any way. Roam around the land of Hyrule at your own pace with no limitations. No places to unlock and no hidden corners awaiting a completed quest. Everything the sun hits and doesn't is open to you at the very first moment. Sure, you might get crushed by higher level creatures, but that's what exploration's all about. Cut down or climb up trees, cook all sorts of meals with thousands of combinations, experiment with your runes and just blow things up. It's a freedom that rivals the likes of GTA and the Witcher series. And while it's not without a few arguable flaws, it's outstanding in almost every way with a play score of a 9.32. And a big thank you to these awesome contributors from all over the world who helped us translate our videos to their respective languages. If you want to take part in the growth of our What to Play community, please translate your favorite What to Play videos to your language. Simply click that More button below and select Add Translations. Thanks again! We publish 4 gaming videos every week, so don't miss any of them. Click that bell button beside subscribe, check the send me box, and save. Don't forget to like and share this video to your friends. To receive the latest player and gaming updates, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+.